firefighter Stephen Siller. Stephen, who lost his life on September 11th, was also the father of 5 young children, just like Detective Seals. On 9/11, Stephen drove his truck to the entrance of the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, which had already been closed for security purposes. Determined to carry out his duty that day, he strapped over 60 pounds of gear on his back and ran over 2 miles to the World Trade Center, ultimately losing his life, rescuing civilians from the Twin Towers. Stephen's life and his tragic death have gone on to help create this wonderful foundation started by Stephen's brothers and sisters who have worked tirelessly to come to the aid and rescue of our fallen first responders, Gold Star families, and our most catastrophically disabled veterans. I'd like to welcome all the first responders that are here with us today, and of course offer our deepest condolences and sympathy to the entire SEALs family and the Jersey City Police Department. It's my honor to now introduce our chairman and CEO, Stephen's brother, Frank Siller.
Why don't you guys sit down, relax. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. As Matt mentioned, my name is Frank Siller. I'm the chairman and CEO of the Stephen Siller Tunnel to Towers Foundation. I'd like to first thank the Mayor, Stephen Fulop, for hosting us here today. I'd like to recognize Chief of Police Michael Kelly. Okay. I'd still like to recognize him. He's got a lot going on, obviously. And our deepest sympathies go out to the Jersey City Police Department and, of course, all of your community here in Jersey City. I'd also like to recognize Director of Public Safety, James Shea, and Chief of Fire Department, James McGill. And I know Jersey City Fire Department because they've been supporting the Tunnel to Towers Foundation for 18 years that I'll run every single year that we have the last Sunday in September. But most of all, I want to recognize the family of Detective Seals, Joseph Seals, who gave his life on the line of duty. We have with us today his cousin, Justin Smith, who is also a firefighter here in Jersey City. And I want to make sure that we're all praying and not forgetting about those others who perished and that were senselessly killed. And let's pray for those families. It saddens me to be here today in the loss of another hero, Detective Joseph Seals, who sacrificed his life in the line of duty. These horrific and senseless tragedies are happening all too often. He leaves behind a wife and 5 children. When we at the Tunnel to Towers Foundation heard what had happened, we knew that we had to do something. First of all, our foundation was born from the sacrifice that my brother made 18 years ago. And when he lost his life, he left behind a wife and 5 children. For 18 years, our foundation has been doing many things. But how did we come to start helping our police officers who die in the line of duty? December 20th, 2014, there was 2 detectives sitting in a police car in Brooklyn, in New York City, when a crazy man came up from Maryland and decided it was okay to kill a cop. And he came in and he assassinated 2 police officers. And that day, our foundation heard that the families were worried about their mortgages. And John Houvain, who's here with us today, he's a retired detective from New York City. He informed me that Mayor Giuliani found out that these families were worried about their mortgages. On Christmas Eve, 2014, we went to their house and we told them that we were going to take care of them. We, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, are going to bring people together and make sure they didn't have to worry about their mortgage ever again. So they didn't have to move out of their house. It's the biggest expense any family ever has. And right then, that program was born in the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Yes, for years we were building specially adapted smart homes for our country's most catastrophically injured service members. We build them all over the United States. And for years we've been taking care of firefighters because my brother was a New York City firefighter. And we made sure that we took care of the families that were left behind of firefighters. But in 2014, that program was born. But you know, ever since 2014, the war, there has been a war against our police throughout America. How many have given their lives for our communities, for our country? Too many. Too many. So I'm making two announcements here today. The first announcement is this. To the family of Detective Joseph Seals, we are going to pay your mortgage. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation is going to pay your mortgage before Christmas, so you never have to worry about your mortgage again. But I'm going to make one more announcement, because I want America to know this, that the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has the law enforcement's back. And this is to their families who worry every single night or every single day when their loved one goes out to protect your streets so we can live in this great country that we live in. And this is to the families that when your husband or your wife who is a law enforcement goes out and kisses you goodbye or kisses your kids goodbye and they get shot and killed while protecting us, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation is going to pay every mortgage of every police officer throughout this great country every single time from this day forward. We will not forget these families that are paying this crisis. And I ask all of America to join us, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, to join us on this mission. We want to take care of all our Gold Star families. We want to take care of all our firefighters. We want to take care of our military. But it starts in our communities with our police departments. And we better make sure that we take them all. Let's, in this season of giving and this season of hope, let's let every family know of our law enforcement that God forbid something happens, they go out and they get shot and killed in the line of duty, that we are going to take care of them. Join us on this mission. We owe it to these families. We owe it. We need to give them the peace of mind that God forbid something like this happens, they don't have to worry about their mortgage. They're never going to have to move out of the house where their dreams, where they were making their dreams with their kids. 5 kids. 5 kids he leaves behind. But you know what? They're going to have their house. It's one less thing they have to worry about. And this is the sacrifice that Joseph did. This is your last gift that you're leaving your family, besides your legacy of great heroism, is a gift that because of what you did, that we are going to take care of your mortgage. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Frank. This tragedy has impacted every first responder here in Jersey City and around our nation. And that's because all of these men and women who put their lives on the line every day to serve our communities have a shared sacrifice. Talk a little bit more about what it means to be a first responder here in Jersey City and to share in that sacrifice. I'd like to introduce Jersey City Fire Chief Steve McGill. Chief.
Thank you and good morning. On behalf of the Jersey City Fire Department, I'd like to just thank the Siller Foundation for the great work they do for not only the fire department, but now also police department and our armed forces. It's just a great organization, and I've followed it since they organized. We've been sending our Jersey City firefighters over there to help every year during their race and their run. And I've seen it go from about 1,500 people to tens of thousands now that participate in that. And it's just a great event, and it's a great thing to see. And, you know, the fire department always prides itself on brotherhood and sisterhood and family. And here in Jersey City, we've always thought the same about our police department. They are also brothers and sisters in blue, and they are part of our family. And I'm glad that this foundation recognizes that fact, that the police department and the fire department are one. We are all out there to help and protect the citizens of our cities that we serve. And I just want to thank them again for this great day. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. As it was noted earlier, the police chief is with the family right now, and there's nothing more important than that. We're very fortunate, though, today to have the head of public safety, the director of public safety, here with us, James Shea, who had a distinguished career in the NYPD before coming here to Jersey City, and we'd like to have him say a few words, if he would. Director Shea?
Everybody, thank you. John, sorry we're seeing each other like this, an old comrade in arms, and to the police department. The only thing I'd like to say is, having been at that incident, I think we can honestly say that every police officer, every federal agent, every firefighter who responded behaved heroically and was willing to do whatever it took to protect lives and to keep the damage to a minimum at that scene, which they succeeded in. So we can't say enough about all of them. Unfortunately, Joe had to pay a higher price than all of the others. Since I mentioned him, anyone who knows him, his fellow workers are over here will tell you that you couldn't even begin to talk about all the lives that have been saved by Joe throughout his career. We could easily fill this room with the people that are alive today because of the police work he did, preventing violent crime, removing guns, always seeking to interact with the most dangerous criminals and prevent them from harming our citizens. We'll never know all the people that are alive because he did that work each and every day. The day that he was called to pay the ultimate price for it was just another day of what he did all the time. So thank you again for taking care of his family and making sure they're not forgotten. And to all of his brother and sister officers who are grieving, I'm sure this makes you love to see everybody recognize what a wonderful human being you worked with every day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director. The loss of Detective Seals is a loss for his family, the police department, and this entire city. It's my privilege now to introduce the Mayor of Jersey City, Steve Fulop.
I just want to start by saying thank you to the broader Jersey City community and really beyond that, this country that has donated to the GoFundMe pages for all 4 of the victims. They all leave behind families that will struggle with this for a long, long time. And I just want to say thank you. The outpouring of love has been second to none, and we certainly appreciate it. And to Tunnels to Towers, we just want to say thank you for your generosity. I mean, this goes a long way to making it a little bit easier what will be a very, very hard and challenging road forward for the Seals family. And I just want to conclude by saying that I know some of you in the press have asked over the last couple of days a little bit more about Detective Seals and circumstances surrounding that. And while we can't speak to that, I am comfortable in saying that he is one of the best police officers. And as more information comes out, you will see that that day was like no other day in his 15-year career, that he was just doing very good police work. And that's the most important thing here. So again, thank you, and thank you to the broader community. And again, my condolences, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a very difficult time for the entire Seals family, and we're really honored today to have with us a member of that family. We'd like to invite Justin Smith up, who's Detective Seals' cousin. Justin?
On behalf of Detective Seals' family, his wife Laura, and their kids, we want to thank the Tunnels to Towers Foundation for everything they've done. No amount of money will ever bring Joey back, but to lift the burden of their mortgage off of Laura so she can grieve and raise her children means more to the family than anybody will ever know. So I really just want to thank everybody. The support has been phenomenal from the police department, OEM, and the fire department. We couldn't have asked for more. So I truly want to thank the Tunnels to Towers, and we really appreciate everything.
Thank you so much, Justin. Thanks to the generosity of the people of Jersey City and around the country, we do hope we can relieve some of the burden on this family that's already given so very much. We ask those watching today or listening to this to go to tunneltotowers.org and donate today. The Seals family is being taken care of today, but there are so many others that need our help, that need your help. Your help by pitching in, your help by donating whatever you can to ensure that our firefighters, police officers, our Gold Star families, and our catastrophically wounded veterans are taken care of. This is our mission, our duty, and our responsibility together. To the Seals family, this week, they saw the worst of humanity. Those of us watching television also saw the best of humanity this week, because we saw police officers, emergency responders put their lives on the line, charge forward into danger to save innocent lives. Joseph Seals has earned his place in history, the history of this city and the history of this country. We're honored today to do a little bit to share in his memory and honor his family. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. Any questions or comments? Anything? Yeah. Yeah. You want me to talk about that? Yeah, okay. Let me start by saying that I am elected into office to have an opinion and to make judgment calls based on what I see, and then the residents decide whether those judgment calls were good, and that's what I try to do. Try to be transparent with people and upfront and give them an honest assessment of the information that we see. I'll start by saying that when we saw the information 3 days ago, and it was fairly easy to conclude that it was a hate crime, we came out very aggressively and early and said that. And had we waited and said to the broader community that we were unsure of the motives, it would have undermined my trust and my relationship with the community, right? And I view everything and every decision that we make and every comment that we make through that prism. So let me start on that. The reason I said that was based on 3 things. The first is based on video footage that we have seen, that we have turned over to the authorities, that we believe it's fairly clear that he walks to the door directly adjacent first and then pivots. As you all know, the yeshiva and the school is directly adjacent, attached to that building. That's number 1. Number 2 is that he brought a lot of ammunition and a lot of firearms. It's fairly safe to conclude from that that his intentions were to do more than just murdering 3 people. Number 3 is he drove to a location that is a known yeshiva and the center of that Jewish community there. That's not something that's a secret in the Jewish community. There were 50 children there that everybody knows. I think you put those things together, and nobody will know the exact answer because those 2 perpetrators are dead, but you put those things together, I think it's fairly safe to conclude that that was the direction that he was going. Now, why is it important to say it now? It's important to say it now because, as I said, in a lot of darkness, there's a little bit of light with the police officers that responded and probably changed that plan because they were a block away and they ran towards the gunfire. And people should know that this could have been far, far worse. This could have been the equivalent of a Sandy Hook type tragedy. That's number 1. Number 2 is it's important for people to recognize the fact that when people say that maybe this wasn't a hate crime, maybe it wasn't anti-Semitism, maybe it was something else, maybe we're making it larger than what it is, they should recognize the fact that the intent was much, much larger. And so it's important for people to know that, and it's important for the world to know that, and it's important to communicate that. And I think the facts, as I outline them for you, a reasonable person would come to that conclusion that the intent was much larger than that grocery store. And knowing the location of the yeshiva with the 50 kids inside, I think it's pretty clear. Okay? Okay.
Any questions on the topic for the foundation or the donation being made for Frank?
Yes.
And also Justin Smith.
Justin, come on up.
Mr. Siller, I mean, you're talking about a large financial obligation to pick up mortgages, unfortunately, for every law enforcement officer killed in the line of duty.
Gets shot and killed.
Shot in the line of duty. How prepared is, and I heard your appeal for donations, but how prepared is the foundation right now? For example, if an officer was shot and killed in Washington State, or and then in a week from now in Arizona, and 3 weeks from now in Florida, and that seems to be the way we're going.
Yeah, so great question. So what Matt Mahoney asked, does everyone go to tunneltotowers.org? We're asking all of America to donate $11 a month. I think most people can do $11 a month to make sure that our communities and these families are taken care of, that are left behind. So that is what we're asking all of America to do. And the fire department, correct me, because Justin is a firefighter, and the police department say many hands makes light work. And many people join in on this mission, we could take care of them. But your question is immediate help, just like we came here today. We didn't fundraise at all for the Detective Seal's family. We were ready to take care of families like this, and we're ready to take care of quite a few families if it happened tomorrow and the next day and the day after. So those police officers that are shot and killed in the line of duty, we're going to take care of those families, whether it happens today again, tomorrow, or the next day.
And can I ask you, thank you. Can I ask Mr. Smith, please? It's always difficult at times like this. Can you guide us through what the family is going through right now, getting ready for the funeral on Tuesday, the week on Monday?
I don't want to speak for Laura, Joey's wife, but they're grieving. You know, they're coping, and they're taking their time, and they're processing everything. She has 5 children to take care of, so it's a lot. But like I said, with the Tunnel to Towers, this is a burden that she doesn't have to deal with anymore. So it makes it a little bit easier.
Justin, I've heard about how Joe died. If you could tell us about it, how he lived.
He was a great guy. We grew up next to each other in the Heights of Jersey City. He moved to Bayonne with us. He was always a prankster. You can ask the guys he works with. They were always doing pranks, and he was a great street cop. He grew up in Jersey City. He knew the city. He loved doing what he did. You know? Always a good guy. Great father. Most cops want to be firemen. But I think the police test came out first. So that's what he took, and that was his calling. You know, he did a great job with it, so.
And Justin, if you could, when his wife found out about this gesture from the Sills Foundation, what is her feeling and her reaction?
Just overwhelmed, you know, overwhelmed with the whole situation. I'm just kidding. Cops don't all want to be firemen, by the way. But she's just overwhelmed. I mean, you couldn't have asked for something better than that. You know, it's a huge burden. I mean, everybody who has a mortgage knows it's a burden. And now she doesn't have to worry about it. So she's overwhelmed. I wish she could be here, but she's just, the cameras, and it's not what, she doesn't want the cameras in her face right now. So, I mean, one day, but right now, she wants all of us to accept everything and give our gratitude for everything that everybody's done.
How you doing? Could you answer how much is left of the mortgage?
It's not important because we don't give that type of information out. But whatever the mortgage is, it's paid for, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just asked because it's a pretty substantial amount to pay it off.
It is all mortgages are substantial, so you know what your mortgage is, so you can figure that out. All right, there isn't any mortgage in this area that isn't substantial.
Can I ask you, do you have a goal or guideline on how much you have to raise in order to fulfill that larger plan that you have?
Yes, $50 million.
I'm sorry, so what was that?
$50 million is our goal to raise.
Also, please, Siller, you said shot in the line of duty.
Correct.
I want to make sure if he's stabbed, killed in the line of duty, that will be covered.
So shot now, okay, to be clear, but of course, let's use common sense. Anyone who goes out and protects their community and gets killed, whether shot or still, yes.
I mean, if somebody
Killed in the line of duty, being shot or stabbed, all right? But let's just say,
rams his police car, a criminal does that, cover that as well? I just want to make sure that...
if somebody's protecting our community, okay, and he's killed while protecting our community, responding to a situation like Joseph just responded, we're going to take care of those families. All right? Thank you very much for coming today.
Right? I thought that was pretty clear. Yeah. I don't know how you put up.